Good to see you all. Mark, good to see you. Everybody on YouTube, Facebook Live. Looks like we're having a good time. First of all, before we get started, I'd like to thank Rob Booker yesterday. We had a great event yesterday. If you missed that event, I know a lot of you signed up for it, but very good friend of mine. Always look up for Rob Booker. Been doing business with him so many years. Just a great educator. His content is amazing. I'd like to thank him for taking the opportunity to talk to his audience and his his following and everything else, and went great. So hopefully some of you guys are there to enjoy it. In the meantime, regarding about what's going on today, we see the market down about 300 points. We had a complete flat day yesterday. I thought we were going to have a major catastrophe. Did you guys hear what happened last night? That Russia hit one of the was it one of the plants, the nuclear plants? Ever heard about that? Thank God it wasn't that serious. They didn't hit it that bad. But you know what? You're talking about a nuclear bomb, and that could have killed almost millions and millions of people. So listen, I think a lot of you realize it. Things are not getting better. They're getting worse, okay? If you could tell me one thing that's going to make this thing better, I'm all ears. So as a trader, you have to be prepared, and you got to prepare for the worst. And as a trader, now I know we're going to have to take care of ourselves personally, and I feel bad for everybody here in Europe and Ukrainians. Our hearts and my wife is half Ukrainian, and my in-laws, my wife's parents, Debbie, they escaped World War II. Her grandfather made it. Her father and her grandmother made it across living in concentration camps their whole lives, getting over. So, and it's sad. It looks like we're going to have something. It's going to happen again. I mean, it's only getting worse. Now, the only thing I want to kind of give you guys a little prepared about, you could see the market on my watch list is all red. I sold yesterday. If you were in the cyber group room, I got out of my Bitcoin Coinbase right here. I got out, thank God, yesterday. Wrong stock. This one, I sold it right around here, right at the open, right around 190, and I bought it back. I did well, and I lost my second trade. So the only stock I'm holding right now is DWAC. That's the only stock I'm holding. You can see it looks awesome. If you can get past this 100, this thing's gonna, it could be a fun stock. But all that negative news, the stock is holding pretty well. Regarding about what's going to happen, and this is where I think it's going to get a lot worse. The United States still has not decided what they're doing with Russian oil. We're still taking in 10% of their oil, and they're not. Listen, obviously we're funding this war, by buying Russian oil. You could see that everybody got rid of doing business with Russia. It was Formula One and NHL, a lot of oil companies, and I just think that the Biden administration still does not know how they're going to fix it, because once they say that they're not going to buy Russian oil, so we were energy independent, now we're not. So if they take that away, the only thing I think that they're waiting for is how they're going to make up for that 10% of not buying that Russian oil. So that's why if they say we're not going to buy Russian oil, I think oil is going to take off, and really take off. Like we could hit like 150 like that. But unless they have a backup plan to make up for it, and that's why I think you haven't heard anything yet, because you can't just say we're not buying Russian oil. I mean, you heard Nancy Pelosi, that a member of the House, said we're not buying Russian oil anymore. But the Senate and the president here in the United States has not said anything. I think they just try to figure out where we're going to make up for that difference, because if they just said that we're not doing it, that's almost 500,000 barrels a day that we're getting from them. They got to make it up from somewhere, and it's not going to be from the reserves. They need to do something, unless they're going to drill here or somebody else is giving it to us from somewhere else. So that's why I don't think you're not hearing anything. But oil is on the big move again. I'm very bullish on oil, and a lot of stocks are doing it. And listen, it's just not oil. There's a stock that we traded yesterday we did pretty well on, was WEAT. Okay, so you know what? Some of you people don't realize, and you learn this as being a trader, and I think a lot of people, WEAT was great, Norman. I know, WEAT was awesome. And we're going to talk a little bit about that right now, that some people didn't realize. I didn't know this until yesterday, and I wish I knew it, 3-4 days ago. But Ukraine actually supplies, I think, like 12% or 15% of the wheat in the world. They're like have one of the they're the breadbasket of Europe. That's what they call it, right, Mike? 20%. Okay. Now think about that. Is it 30? I think it was like 20. Is it 30? Listen, regardless, it's not zero. It's not 1%. That is a major supply chain of wheat. And listen, I'm Italian. I love my pasta. Okay, I love my bread. You could see it. I'm a sucker for that. But think about it. They have some of the best wheat there, and then what's going to happen there? Just like what happened with the U.S. with the virus. People didn't realize that Tylenol is not made in our country. It's all made in China. And if there was this dispute, imagine that we couldn't get our drugs there. Our big supply chain is with China. Forget about oil. That's just one thing. Okay. So you're starting to realize as a trader that, granted, as a consumer or just an individual, you think of like, this is pretty crazy, right? Like, why are we not doing our allies? Why are we dealing with this? But the thing is, as a trader, you're like, that makes it that much worse for certain stocks that make things rally. And, and when you look at stocks like, really, Russia is like a big supplier of Germany or Europe. Why would they do that? When you look at it, like, why would they do that? Why would they buy from the U.S.? Why do U.S. stop being oil independent and help us support? Why be bringing from there? Like who makes these policies, whatever it is? And then when this happens, you don't realize it until something bad happens, which, like I say all the time, catastrophes make opportunities. And that's why you're seeing these things go up and things getting crushed the way that they're going. So you have to be prepared to say, okay, listen, don't take things personal, don't take things political. And I hate using that word because I do use it a lot, but some people do, and that's where you're going to lose. Okay. So when I say something and I call something out on it, and if you are a very, oh, you're an anti-Biden, you're an anti-Trump, and this or that, listen, or you're anti this or whatever, you don't believe about the environment, this and that, please don't not even say that. Has nothing to do with it. My personal feelings and your personal is different. But as a trader, you might not like what you hear, and you know what? You shouldn't be trading. And that's why we're very, very picky who we teach here, because you can't accept it, what the facts are, and be like, oh, you're just saying that because of this, and you're saying it because you can't do that. You have to look at it. The facts are the facts. Why is oil going up? Okay, because I said so or somebody else. It's all about the catastrophe. So you have to be prepared and be focused on it. Now, looking at some of the stocks, it's like Boyle. We were a big fan of Boyle. Boyle, had a big rally and then it tanked. It went back to 30. It was a big run up in Boyle. Great swing trade. Okay. So listen, at the end of the day, you got to make money, right? This is your time to shine. Now, regarding about yesterday, some stocks that we traded, we had a great class yesterday in phase 3, lesson 1. The afternoon was kind of crappy. I didn't really think it was that great. We traded stock PLTR. And that was, kind of a good short on it. You could see it took a little bit of a beating. A lot of stocks that I wanted to short was not really out there, because some brokerage firms allow you to short, not. But like there were a couple of stocks that were moving yesterday. Like I said, we had wheat that just did phenomenal. Let me bring up you could see it right there, just $10. The thing went to 12. Nice push right there. What else we had? NEO. We all know what NEO is. NEO is the copycat of Tesla of China. I told you about what the story with China is yesterday. If you haven't watched it, I want to repeat it. Go back and watch the recording yesterday of what's going on with China with these public companies. Don't be shocked if they're going to start taking them off our exchanges because they're not reporting companies. That's another topic in itself. Plug. Another stock. We did really well the last couple of days. Now Plug's starting to come down. Was a really good short. That one also. INDO. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. INDO has just been on fire. And this stock is actually going back on the watch list. The only bad thing about INDO, it is extremely volatile. It's very hard to day trade. You could see what happened around 2 o'clock. It ran from 24 down to 17. So unless you're a category 5 trader, do not trade this stock. and don't think, well, maybe I'll just trade 100 shares. You know, go out there, trade a small lot and see how it goes. Another stock that's really benefiting from this whole catastrophe also is, you know, U.S. Steel. Okay, U.S. Steel has been an animal the last 2 weeks, $24 to about 30. The only thing I don't understand is why I'm not hearing them talking about more in the financial stations as much. Why is U.S. Steel doing great? You know what? You read between the lines, okay? So this stock has done unbelievable when it comes to trading. So U.S. Steel, obviously, another stock, you got to keep an eye on it. And yesterday, when we were trading it, let me just bring this up because this was I'm going to share something for some of you that are not students at Cybertrade University, okay? But let me just want to bring this up because this is a stock that we traded. Look at the stock in the trading range. At 3:30, this stock was awesome. It ran from $30.70 all the way to $30.95, back down to $30.70, back up to $30.95, back down to $30.70, all the way up to the close, and then it came right back down right after that. I mean, this stock you could have went long, short, long, short, long, short. You know why it had a tough time breaking 31, and you know why I never want to go below 30.70? Because there were huge iceberg orders at each one of those levels. And if you've not been following those iceberg orders and you don't know about it and you're watching this as a delay, maybe watching as a recording, you have to follow the money. But this stock was awesome yesterday in phase 3. So that was it. Now, what's going on this morning? Listen, I'm not really a fan of what's going on this morning. There's not that much out there, okay? I looked around, which doesn't mean the market's over for us, but there were a couple of stocks like INDO, which we already know about. U.S. Steel, we already know about it. The ETFs, okay? So ETFs are doing pretty well. UVXY, you know, you could see how that stock is moving pretty well also. Boyle, you know, obviously very spotty in pre-market. What else is it? IMPP, that stock has been doing pretty well the last couple of days. Nice little push. A petroleum stock, another one that's on the list. We got a little bit of a bounce back on BJ's. BJ's, you know, obviously got crushed. Major support levels at 55. Stock hit it there. You could see it. Stock bounced right there. And then DWAC, you know, listen, if it breaks through that 100, you know, this thing could be off to the races again. But it's been moving on a really nice, steady pattern. But not really that much. It's Friday. I don't like to trade on Fridays as much. Friday's not always the greatest days to trade. You know, people like going into the weekend. But with the whole war stuff going on, you know, there's always something that will pop up. Now, is there anything I'm missing I did not call out? Anything else? Cliff is saying the CENX, the aluminum stock. Yeah, I mean, that stock also, all these stocks are doing great. So, I mean, this stock did come down, but on a swing trade, she did pretty well, Cliff. Bill's saying the CLF. I mean, CLF, another nice little push on that stock. Not the greatest day trade. It was good in this morning, Cliff, but, you know, like I said, it was a pretty good swing trade. Anything, corn, another stock that's, you know, corn is also, listen, all these ETFs, all the future stocks are just unbelievable. They're all these commodity stocks are just really been on a big move. And if you're on the wrong side and you're anti this, anti that, you know what you do? Short them and tell me how that works out for you, okay? Because that's what it's all about. There's a short squeeze on GRAB. Probably get a little bit of a bounce here, but nothing great. CVX, yeah, that thing is just big pop right there. Was that Chevron? That was the stock that we were talking. I was talking with Tom Busby last week. Remember, I was there doing an event with him, and we saw these big resistance levels at 40. Look, the thing ran to 160. Incredible how good the stock is doing, you know. But he did really well with that stock. That was a great call on his part. Now it's breaking a nice 52-week high. All right, everybody, listen, I got to get ready for phase 3. We got lesson 3 and 4 today. Josh is back today, so we're a little happy to see him. Rich just posted a link for anyone that is a student at Cybertrade University. Just click that link. If that link does not work for you and you're interested in our courses, talk to Education Advisor and I'll get you in. And then for everybody here on YouTube, Facebook Live, we'll be back here at 2:30 and trade the close. Just be very, very careful what you're looking at, all right, guys? Because it's, you know, it is going to get a little hairy. And when it comes down to what's going on, I think we all could agree. I don't think things are getting better. Okay, I think they're getting worse. And to see what happened with that, you know, bombing that nuclear power plant or just hitting it, just should freak anyone out. Okay, so you're basically one bomb away of destroying the market. And what does that mean? You better be ready to short. All right, or you better, and if you got your positions, maybe you want to consider maybe getting out. And I'm not, listen, I've been through 9/11. I've been through everything. You just got to be careful about it. Thanks, everyone. Good luck today. Happy trading. We'll see you all in class.